Hello, entrepreneurs, and hopefully some of the U.S. accountants that are going to be called out by my videos here, because I'll tell you the truth. I am sick and tired of seeing the substandard work that U.S. CPAs and tax preparers are putting out there. I get plenty of new clients every week. And I get to see I don't want to say it, but terrible work that CPAs and tax preparers are putting out there. Because the first thing we do when we get a new client is we compare the client's books to what's on the tax return. That's accounting. U.S. tax preparers and accountants have forgotten. They have forgotten how to do accounting. And I am sick and tired of seeing this. My objective is to disrupt the whole accounting profession in the United States, because enough is enough. Okay. And tonight, I'm going to go through the top 5, and I'm going to keep going through the top 5. Okay. Now, if you don't know me, and probably you don't, my name is Joe DeChara. It's right up there. I am a CPA certified in New York State in 1987. Never had one complaint against me, even though people can make complaints that are unsubstantiated, but I've never even had one. Never had a preparer penalty because of something I did that was inappropriate. Okay, so the point is, I would say I have a stellar career as a CPA and tax preparer. That being said, I have seen enough. I've worked with directly or indirectly with thousands of small business owners. That's where I'm coming from. So let's talk about the top 5 mistakes that business owners make, that accountants make. Number 1, they don't train their staff. They don't spend any time teaching them about accounting procedures, checks and balances. What they teach them is to enter data into a tax program based on the unreliable information that they get from their clients. There is no education program. They hire somebody, they put a stack of returns, files, client responsibilities on them. How do I know this? Because I was one of them. I was once an accounting staff member, and it drove me crazy. I said, how am I you're just giving me clients. How am I supposed to know exactly what to do? There was no system. Number 2, they don't review anything. When I started in accounting, there was a review process. In Bedrock, we have a review process. Staff accountants do tax returns and they just go out. And that's not accounting. That is not accounting, folks. The next, number 3, we're on number 3. They rely on technology to do their jobs. When I started, we didn't have computers. We did, and what does it matter about when I started? Over 40 years ago. What matters is we did thousands of returns, thousands of financial reports without a computer. Technology is a tool. It's a tool. And accountants forgot that. What they do is they teach somebody how to enter data and then input that data into a tax program. And they're assuming that whatever accounting program they're using is spitting out the right data. And they're assuming that the tax returns are going to be accurate. There is no review process, like I said in slide 2. When QuickBooks was created, the accounting industry was turned on its side. It was turned upside down. Okay. The result was accountants allowed their clients to create their own financial reports. And now what accountants started doing was taking shortcuts. They took shortcuts so that they can pump out returns and make a profit. The less time that they spent on a client's tax return meant their profits went up. Who were they helping? They weren't helping their clients. They weren't going through their financial reports to tell them, listen, you didn't do a bank rec, or you did a bank rec and there's $30,000 worth of checks that never cleared. That's not accounting. QuickBooks Intuit told the biggest lie ever to business owners, and that was that they can do their own bookkeeping and save money. They could save money in the short term by not having the accountant do the bookkeeping or a real bookkeeper doing the bookkeeping. But in the long run, it destroyed businesses. It destroyed businesses. I've seen it firsthand. Tax planning. Tax planning is done before the end of the year. If you're an individual or a business owner and you're meeting your tax preparer once a year, he's not an accountant. He's a data entry clerk. You can't do tax planning in February, March, and April. If you're bringing all of your stuff to your accountant after December 31st, you don't have an accountant. You have a data entry clerk. They're not helping you. They're just preparing your return. This really infuriates me. It infuriates me because I am a CPA. I worked hard to earn my CPA certificate. I learned from the best. Just because technology took over Intuit with QuickBooks, tax programs, technology, I always looked at that stuff as tools. They're just tools. And unfortunately, current accountants, the people that you're relying on to do your tax stuff, is inadequate. It's inadequate. Here's a recap. Number one, they don't train their staff. How do I know this? Because I have a lot of students that went and worked for accounting firms. There is no training. There is, okay, you're hired, here's files, let's get them done. They don't review. All they're interested in is pumping out returns. Let's pump out the return so we can get paid. And the sad part is, and they know, the accounting firms know that there's almost zero IRS scrutiny. But that's going to change, folks. That's changing. Number three, they rely on technology. You can't learn how to do tax returns by entering data into a tax program. And that's how new accountants are learning. That's no way to learn the tax code. You're entering data. You're not learning about tax laws and what's going to trigger an audit. Okay, that is not accounting or tax accounting. It's data entry. Number four, accountants became used to, they accepted the garbage that they got from their clients. In other words, what I'm saying is when QuickBooks went into it, sold people on that lie that you could do your own bookkeeping and save money. They allowed their clients to do their own bookkeeping, take their financial reports, and enter the data into the tax return. How do I know this? Because I just got QuickBooks files from a client who is an experienced entrepreneur with a partner that is an experienced entrepreneur. They gave me their business, and the first thing I do is I compare their last year's files, their last year's financials with the tax return. And what I saw shocked me. But I wasn't surprised. I was shocked because of the level of business knowledge of the two owners. And when I looked at the ending balances on the balance sheet, and they matched. The only problem was there were a lot of mistakes on the balance sheet. There were he obviously did not look at the ending balance sheet because there were old outstanding transactions. There were duplicate checks that were made that were never cleared. There were duplicate deposits that never cleared. There were credit card transactions that were never reconciled. I had to fix all that. Now, this was an extremely successful entrepreneur that knows all about both of them, two partners. They know all about books and records. The thing was, this was a small company that they had started together, and it wasn't high on their radar. But I've had clients that were doing millions of dollars in business on millions of dollars in assets, and it was the same story, and I see it all the time. Number five, and this is a product of accountants never communicating with their clients. They let their clients come in February, March, April with their records, never talking to them during the year. What's going on? Where are you with your taxes? How much? Let's take a snapshot. I mean, that's what I was taught. You can't do tax planning during tax season. There is no tax planning in February, March, and April. What they're doing is taking the information and entering the data. I'm sick and tired of seeing this kind of activity. I'm sick and tired, not for myself, for the American taxpayers that are actually hiring tax preparers and they don't even realize what's going on. It's time to hold accountants accountable. It's time for this nonsense to stop. One of my team members asked me a year or two ago, she said, Joe, how come all of these new clients we get, none of their books match their tax returns? And we get clients from big accounting firms. I'm not talking about run-of-the-mill sole proprietors or some guy that's overwhelmed. I'm talking about established accounting firms with partners and 20 people on staff. They're producing garbage, folks. They're producing garbage. So what I'd like to do right now is invite you. I want to invite you to join me. Okay, number one, you could go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel because videos like this are going to be up there. And I plan on doing a lot of these videos because I want to call out the accounting profession. It's time. It's time people started questioning what these incompetent, irresponsible accountants are doing today. You can go to YouTube, search Bedrock Business Builders, or search me, Joe DiChiara, and you will find what I'm doing. Follow us on LinkedIn. We have a number of different pages. You can just search us on LinkedIn. And like I said, 3 times a week. That's how. So just let me explain how. What's the word? Not enthusiastic. How mad I am. How motivated I am. And how disgusted I am about what's going on. I'm doing 3 Facebook Lives like this every week in the middle of tax season. This is March 22nd. I'm supposed to have my head deep down into tax returns right now. Okay. How am I able to? Because we have a firm, we have systems, I have team members, I have a good business model that most accountants never even dream of. So 3 times a week, I've committed to be on video live to vent. I've been saying this for too many years. Okay. So whether you agree with me or not, don't matter to me. Okay. It doesn't matter. It's the truth. It's the truth. And I'm going to keep bringing the truth because I've learned that in the end, the truth works. And here's the truth, folks. The U.S. accounting industry is in a big amount of trouble. Big trouble. And that's fine. But the problem is it permeates to the small business owners, the individual taxpayers that rely on those tax preparers. And it's time that they are called to the mat. It's time that they're held accountable for the substandard work that they're doing. Anybody that has an opinion or wants guidance, just go to timewithjoe.com. I'll chat with you. I don't care if you like what I say or you don't like what I say. In fact, if you don't like what I say, I challenge you. I challenge you to connect with me, and we'll go through all the facts. Okay? But if you're somebody that agrees with what I'm saying, if you've had a bad experience with an accountant, if you need some guidance, connect with me. timewithjoe.com. This is my business. That's my address. That's our phone number. We are transparent. Okay? I'm not hiding from anyone. Thank you. God bless. Have a good night and a good weekend. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it, folks. Thank you.